Hello, I am here and I'm ready to go. And we're going to talk about the Balticon panel that I was just moderating, that I found out I was moderating as I got into it. And it was about giving your work away for fun and profit. And that's what the panel was called. But yeah, it was a really interesting discussion. There's a lot of ways. I know a lot of times, we joke about exposure doesn't pay the bills. But there's a lot of ways that you can get benefit out of your work besides actual monetary benefit. And that's what that panel was about. So some of the examples we're talking about, like if you have a series, you can put your ebook up there. And not all of this was covered in the panel. Some of this was just in my notes. But you can put your first ebook to a series. You can publish that for free. People can download it for free and link back to the rest of the series, kind of like that whole try before you buy concept. And you can put the links in your website and everything like that so people can come buy it. Something that was pointed out is you're giving away an ebook, which costs you nothing, but people might want to buy the paperback then. And that happens a lot. I do that a lot with nonfiction. I buy the ebook because it's usually cheaper and I can get it instantly. And I'm probably in my bed reading with one eye. And then if it's really good material and I feel like this is valuable and I want to keep it as a reference material, then I buy the paperback. So that's one way that you can you're giving something away for free and you're receiving value back, in this case, sales for your backlog or the rest of your series or paperbacks. There was a couple of newspaper people on there, including myself. That's another really good reason to give your work away for free, because once you are publishing in a small town paper, it can even be a free paper, it doesn't matter. But you start publishing work, then you get what's called clips, samples of your work, and then you can bring those into newspaper offices and you can get paid to do that kind of work. And in my own life, I started out doing free work for, I think it was a small town, like a small military paper. So obviously you're going to be able to write for that. But I was doing good pieces. Then I wound up moving up to a community weekly paper and I got $20 an article, which I thought was amazing. And then from there, my next place was militarylifestyle.com at the time. Now it's called militarylife.com. And they are the people that, with the military, put out the couponer in all the commissaries. But they were paying me $300 to write a 700-word story. So I'm really glad I gave away that free work. And that's the same experience with another journalist, Jean, who had a background in journalism. She also started out as a free intern, so slightly different situation. Worked for 6 months, but then she had the experience to move up and get a job in journalism. So that was a good way. I brought up Second Life. I went into Second Life, a metaverse, a virtual world, which is like the big buzzword right now, but it's actually been around for a little while. I went in there and I did a digital book, but it actually looks like a little physical book, exactly like my physical book. And I did that of my first book, end of May. And then I put it on the freebie sites so people could just pick it up. It was only the first chapter. They could pick it up for free, read that first chapter. Then it had a link back to the book on Amazon. And I was making $50 a month on royalties at the time, which now I realize that was pretty dang good. Yeah, I mean, I should do that again. Why am I not doing that now with the rest of my books? I need to do this. What was another thing that came up for free? Well, I didn't get to talk about it, but I was going to bring up the little, you all have probably, if you're watching this, you have seen me talk about the pocketbooks. So what I did, it's a one-page book. You can print this out and you cut it and you fold it as so, and there's instructions all over the place. I will go back, since I've mentioned this, I will go back to this post and leave that there. But I did one for StokerCon just now that I wound up not passing out because it was so busy and crazy. But it has basically my schedule for StokerCon, my name, my bio, all of that kind of information. Way better than a business card, I think. So that's basically giving away work for free. for fun and profit, though not direct fun and profit. And then other places were brought up, like blogs. Basically, anytime you post on social media, you're giving away content. And there was some dissenting views back and forth on piracy. My idea with piracy is kind of, who cares? I mean, I don't promote it, of course, and I don't say, please pirate my books. But I figure anybody who is going to go through all that trouble and risk viruses in their computer and everything else to read my book for free is probably not going to buy a copy of my book anyways. So, yeah, at least somebody's reading it. That's kind of why I'm writing. And I'm not losing anything, certainly. So that was a back and forth on that a little bit, on piracy. You might have a completely different idea on that. I know it is like a little bit irritating if somebody is stealing your work. That's a pretty emotional issue. I like Neil Gaiman. I'm going to paraphrase this. Neil Gaiman said, like, basically that we should, or he suggests, we throw our work out into the world like dandelion seeds, not caring where it lands, not caring where it goes or where it takes root. But the point is to get it out there, because then it has a chance to take root. And that's not exactly what he said, but it's something like that. And it involved dandelion seeds, which you know how much I love dandelions. So trying to think of what else was covered there. That was the blogs. Oh, I deleted my notes. I should not have deleted my notes, but yeah, that's pretty much covered it. It was just basically about and there was somebody brought up a really good point, that not everybody has the choice to get paid for their work. Some countries don't accept PayPal. We've had this situation with the magazine where we actually could not pay somebody money because their country wouldn't accept PayPal. So in that case, I believe we sent them extra magazines, but that was right before COVID, and I'm not even sure if those magazines got there because everything was really nuts at that time. But yeah, so hopefully this gives you some good ideas about some of the ways that you can get a benefit from your work without actually receiving money, which is really good, especially when you're beginning, because you're not going to be able to necessarily get paid at the beginning of your career. And even after you're established, you're going to wind up giving away free work. So this is a good way to think of it as a product, as a free advertising thing, as a free sample to get people into your other work. And they don't necessarily have to worry about every penny, because not all benefits are monetary. So, and that's about all I have to say on the topic today. Tomorrow I have another panel at StokerCon, and that one is going to be poetry as a world building tool. And then I'm going to be going to pottery and picking up my pots, I hope. So I'm excited. I will probably be able to share those tomorrow night. So I'm excited to see how they turn out. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed this. Give me a like, give me a follow if you feel like it. And I will see you tomorrow.